All right, welcome back. So for this step, we're now going to go over how to refresh the data for your report using Power BI's on-premise data gateway. So I'm going to pop over to our doc site here real quick at Liongard, where we actually have these steps laid out for you. Publishing and refreshing reports right here on the left-hand side under Power BI. All right, so this went up to the point where we've published, and now we're going to talk about the gateway, the Power BI gateway right here to install. So we actually have a link we can follow right here from our doc site. So go ahead and click this. Let me go back there. I'm going to open this in a new tab just so I can stay on this page. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and click download standard mode right here. We'll save that to our desktop. We'll give that a few minutes to get done. Okay, all finished. So let's go ahead and run that gateway once that .exe file once you're done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the default destination. You can change this, but we need to go ahead and pick where we want this to install. And I accept the terms and use. Okay, let's give that a few minutes. Now, one thing we're going to do here is we're going to have to once we're finished with this installs, we're going to have to point the we're going to have to point the gateway to where we drop the Liongard data connector, the one where you create that custom file path. But one thing I want to point out real quick is that the service account that's used for the data connector has to have full access to the file path. So do double check that if this step's not working for you, is this is a good call out to understand is that you have to have the file permissions to be able to view the contents of that folder. I'll show you what that looks like here in just a second. All right, give us a couple more seconds. Okay, so that's finished, and now the next pop-up is it wants me to sign into the gateway. So you want to sign in with the same user account that you're using on Power BI Desktop, the same one you used to push it to the Liongard, I'm sorry, the Power BI service online. So go ahead and log in. All right, follow this step to sign into your account. And I'm going to, most likely you're going to be clicking on register a new gateway on this computer. Hit next. All right, we need to give it a name. So I'm just going to call it, you can call it the Liongard connector. I'm going to call it Liongard demo gateway. You can use, this is a recovery key, basically a password you need to create. So creating the accordingly. Let me go and do that. Make sure you keep it in a safe place as it says too. If anything goes wrong with your gateway, basically this is how you can restore it. Okay. I don't think I did that right. All right. We'll hit configure. Okay. So now we have the gateway is configured and online. Now we need to go to this connectors right here. And so here it says load the custom data connectors from this folder. And here's the service I'm talking about right now. Earlier. This is the service that you need to make sure can access that folder. So if you're running into any issues where it's not showing up, you need to make sure that this service has permissions. So we need to navigate to that folder. So again, this is where you put the Liongard connector from the previous video. So if you followed me, it was going to be under this PC, Documents, Power BI Desktop, Custom Connectors, right here. You're going to hit OK. Then we'll hit Apply. And then most likely you're going to need to restart to see these changes. So go ahead and follow that. Okay. It looked like that was it there. This thing can kind of, might have to refresh here again. Okay, and I want to see it say Liongard up top here, which I believe it will, but let me try to, there we go. Sometimes I have to leave the screen and come back. But you see, once you have that Liongard listed up top here, this step's done correctly. All right. So now this data gateway is all set up. Now we need to go to Power BI Online and just configure it for the configure the connection and gateway. So we'll can follow here, but you can go back to your Power BI step. I'm sorry, your tab. And wants us to hit the gear wheel up here, so we'll hit Settings. Apologize. Let me go double check myself. Yep, Manage Connections and Gateways. Right here, Manage Connections and Gateways. All right. And then we're going to go to the Settings tab, On-Premise Data Gateways, and we're going to choose it. So we'll go to On-Premise Data Gateways. Here's this one right here. I'm going to select it with the checkbox. Perfect. Oops. Get rid of that. Okay. And now that I have that checkbox, we'll hit Settings right here. And let's just double check. We just need to make sure we allow users custom data connectors to refresh to this gateway cluster. So just need to hit this step right here. We'll hit Save. Okay, and close out of that. All right, let's follow along. Now we need to create a new connection. So we'll go back to Power BI. We'll go to Connections right here. We'll hit New. And you need to choose the cluster name that matches with your gateway right here. And I'll call this LG demo like that. For this connection type, let me go double check. Sorry. Sorry, connection type. We need to find this Liongard connector version right here. Hopefully I can filter this down with an L. There it is, right there. Again, this needs to be your instance, like when you authenticated in the previous step. So for me, it's ROR2, but it'll be whatever your URL instance is. I believe we'll keep that as key. Okay. And then this needs to be your same base 64 encoded token. So hopefully you documented that from the previous step. If not, I'm actually just going to go generate one real quick so I can show you that again real fast how to do that. All right, get in there. We'll go to account settings, access tokens. We'll generate a token. And remember, I need a base 64 encode this. I'm just going to go to that website. So I have it right here. I'm going to grab this. Now I'll move a little fast. This was in I think this is the second video where we went over how to authenticate. This is the same token that you already created. For the purpose of this video, I am creating these and then just deleting them after the video is over. So I'm just going through this step real quick again, but you need to go find that same base 64 encoded token like this one here and provide it right for Power BI. We'll jump over here. We'll leave that as key. And I believe the other, yeah, everything else is good down here. And we'll hit create. Good. Hit checkbox. That means you're all good to go. We'll hit close. All right, we're almost done here. So now we're going to go back to the workspace and go back to the report. So again, mine is inside of demo workspace. I think you'll click on my workspace or whichever workspace you publish to. So go back over into that workspace. You're going to find the semantic model for your data set and hit these three dots and go down to settings. You may have this pop up like I do. I'm going to go ahead and hit discover data sources. Now I have this data connections right down here. Oops, I apologize. Gateway and cloud connections right here. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the checkbox next to the gateway I just set up. So you should see the same thing available. This maps to the LG demo. All right, I'm going to hit apply. Great. And now that we've done this, what you see is I can now open this refresh setting here. And I have the ability now to turn on a refresh schedule for my data. So I can hit on. I can have this run daily. I can choose the time. And then I can add another time and another, and you can do it, however you like. So you can have this run multiple times throughout the day. I'll just choose this for now and hit apply. Perfect. And now one other thing to test that this is working correctly is let's go back to the report. So I'm going to hit general right here. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and hit let's go back to the workspace. I'm going to go back to the workspace. I'm going to go to the model and I'm going to hit refresh now. So at any point in time, you can do a manual refresh by clicking that button, and it will still stick to whatever schedule that you implemented. But let's let this go ahead and refresh. It looks like we're good to go though. I'm not getting that error right away. We'll just wait here for a couple seconds. There we go. So this was just refreshed at this time right now. It is still scheduled to go for the next refresh. And let's go jump into the report. All right. So now this is the most up-to-date data now per the last refresh. So we are all good to go. Okay. One other takeaway here too is that the on-premise gateway that we just installed does have to be running on that machine when the scheduled refresh takes place. So I scheduled mine for 1 a.m. every day. So that means that this machine has to be online and available at 1 a.m. in order to pull that refresh into the Power BI service. So you can either publish this report from a workstation that you'll dedicate to be on at that time. You can also install Power BI Desktop on a server, put the gateway on that server, and follow these same steps, and so that the refreshes won't have any issues with that machine being online. So it is important to note that the machine needs to be online and running the gateway at the time of when the refresh is being attempted. I hope you found this video helpful in this entire series and how to use Liongard's Power BI Data Connector and build your own report. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at Liongard Support, and we'd be happy to help you. I hope you have a great day, and thank you again.